Sound check 1 2 1 2. Sound check 1 2 1 2. Welcome into another SR51 Media Show. I am your host, SR51. Hopefully you're having a good day today. If you're not, hopefully it turns around for you. Just a fair warning going into the show. This will not be a normal 5 or 6 hour stream. It's been a long day. I have things I have to do tomorrow, so probably about a half, 45, something like that. I'm going to set up the franchise because, as you saw, I just deleted the other franchise. I'm going to set up the franchise and then I'm going to look to, hold on, let me pull up the chat. I'm going to set up the franchise and then I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to make sure that the stream is running well. 1 second. Oh. Is it really running good? Yeah, it's running good. It's just not playing back well. Yeah, running well. Wyham 5750, thank you for showing up and thank you for the mics. And thank you for the mics. Oh crap, pressed the wrong button. So, it's been a very interesting day.
Choose which team you'll begin your franchise with.
Hold on. Let me make sure I'm selecting the right stuff for the setup of this franchise. That way I can just play with the roster a little bit tonight before I go to sleep instead of having to start it all over again. 1 second, got something on my glasses. Okay, so we're going to be playing online. We're going to go with these current NFL weekly. Wait, was that preseason? Okay, yeah. Oh, is the TV turned up? Hold on, I'm just going to do an echo. No, it's turned down. Okay, so we're going to do Super Bowl. After the Super Bowl,
choose which team you'll begin your franchise with.
We're going to do, of course, my Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to do Master Motivator and Madden. We're, of course, going to name... What is up with these buttons? Yeah, I'm getting a controller this weekend. This is crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's because we can play with an Elite. It just... Everything else just doesn't feel the same. To be honest. Okay, we're going to go with the name. What time is it? About 10:27? About 11:15. I'm going to shut this down. And then I will see you guys tomorrow once I am free, which I hope is at an earlier time. Okay.
The menu on the left lets you adjust your league settings and where to start your franchise. In the preseason, the regular season, or with a fantasy draft.
Okay, let me backpedal on the coach. Because he don't look nothing like me. Okay, and appearance, we already know what we're going with. All right, now shoes, I'm going to just go with the cap and gowns, as I'm being told. What are these? Jordan Retro 11 cap and gowns. I'm going to go with these. They have the Jordan Retro 11 cap and gowns, the Jordan Retro 11 closing ceremonies, the cool grays, the diffused blues. I'm going to go with the cap and gowns for now until I figure out the team color. Give me 1 second as I kill the screen so I can do the settings. All right, we have it lined up now. Okay, so we're going with SR51 Media as a coach, the Philadelphia Eagles, John Madden offensive playbook, John Madden defensive playbook, but I'm going to be moving them to Honolulu, Hawaii, one of the most romantic places in the world. Let's see here. So yeah, we can start from Super Bowl week 3. And yes, I will be, discussing the news and things that went on today. Just let me get the roster at least set up here a bit. Um, top 10, thank you for the likes and thank you for the likes. Okay, so we're gonna go to GM office, relocate to Honolulu, Hawaii. Now the team that I chose last time, I like the fact that they had green in their logo, but I didn't necessarily like their uniforms. I feel like their uniforms was very elfish, like kind of like Christmas elfish in a sense. Um, I think this time around I might drop the aspect of wanting to play with green uniforms and them having to be green. I think I'm just gonna go off. Excuse me. I think I'm just gonna go off of what I like. I am a chess fan, so I am liking the Black Knights. The blues is pretty okay. The Condors are cool. I'm not really a purple guy like that. I don't have a lot of like purple gear and stuff, but the Condors look pretty cool. The Desperados definitely look good, but I'm trying to get something that fits in with Hawaii. I've been the Red Dragons before. I don't necessarily want to be the Red Dragons again. I think a lot of people are focusing in on the Red Dragons. Um, let's see what fits more with Hawaii. There's the Nighthawks, but the Nighthawks look like a raven to me. There's the Orbits. Orbits are pretty different, but they're kind of like it doesn't really fit, you know. Uh, Let me see something. Are there redwoods in Hawaii? I mean, I don't know where all trees grows that thing. It says yes, there are California coast redwoods in Hawaii. They were planted in the 1920s, 1930s by civilian conservation corps to reinforce the known watersheds and counter soil erosion. Okay, so the redwoods would fit with Hawaii. Um, the sentinels not so much. Neither would the shamrocks. The snowhawks. I don't think it snows that much out there like that. Aiden, welcome to 51 Dynasties community. Welcome to one of the best online communities available today, where you are appreciated. Thank you for your support and welcome into the group. I hope you're enjoying the stream, man. Um, mm, 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 mm. I think that the Thunderbirds were very nice. I really liked them as a team, and I think the jerseys were pretty cool because they had kind of like like an old school Buccaneers feel to it. But I think the redwoods give us the green and add a little bit more brown, but it doesn't give you that pop. You know, it's not that like, okay, this is a ferocious team. It feels like, you know, this is like a plank team or something like that. And then you would always have to carry the brown in your jerseys. Now with the redwoods, excuse me, it says towering over everything, redwoods are some of the most impressive living things on earth. But then for the Thunderbirds, it says a bird so powerful a single flap of its wings creates thunder. The Thunderbirds are a force of nature. We're gonna go with the Thunderbirds, and then we're gonna do a Honolulu, Hawaii Thunderbirds team, and we're gonna do a futuristic stadium. Okay, so everything like that is taken care of. So now we can come back up to Coach Central, and we can edit my coach. And because we have red and gold, I am going to go with the Jordan Retro 11 closing ceremonies because they have gold in the shoes. So that'll work. Gotta have the team colors on. Save as exit. Okay, and then we're gonna do some preemptive things like basically see if I can fire this coach. Can I fire this coach? No? Okay. Let's jump to free agency. Christian Wilkinson's out there. I normally pick him
Here
up.
are a player's motivations.
We'll go over. I'll finalize it as time goes on. Shaq Mason. Go ahead and pick him up. Justin Simmons. Go ahead and pick him up. Quandre Diggs. No. Kendall Fuller. At cornerback, yes. He was downgraded a lot. Troy Hill. Troy, I think, plays very well last time I checked. Matthew Judon, no. Mosley, yeah. Mosley is a star, and he has very good zone coverage and play recognition. I think I can coach him up. And then there is not really much more out there. You can see why I'm not going to go that long because I don't want to be up too late. Cody Whitehair, we're going to pick him up. He's a very good left guard. We could always plug him in at right guard. Cameron Sutton. Cameron's a normal. Username 3. Ben, is that you? Is that Ben with a different name? My legs hurt really bad. Wait, what? First of all, who is this that we're talking to? Is this Ben? Oh, okay. Why do your legs hurt? Why do I feel like this is going to lead to a joke? Why do your legs hurt? Your legs hurt, bro. I'm tired myself. I just wanted to show what we started with as a base for the team so that way, you know, people can know what we do over here. Oh, yeah. Jared Willis, the left tackle. We can go ahead and pick him up. Alan Lazard. Alan's actually pretty good. Motivation and tags. Everything really lines up. Let's see what he said. He said his legs hurt because this morning I squatted 45 pounds 5 times. Oh, okay. You hitting that weight bench, huh? Oh crap. My you know what? I gotta get new thumbsticks for my Xbox. What got like X? Oh, so you hitting that weight? You hitting that them weights, huh? Okay, I see you working out. I see you working out. Assign Alan Lazard. Are you feeling okay though? You just a little sore, but you feeling okay? Then ran some drills. Then my brother took me to a mean hill run up 8 times. Oh, you trying to build that what you call it? You trying to build that super strength. Okay. And then there's David Long, who also we're gonna pick up. He's a will side linebacker. And then who else am I missing? There's a lot of people I like to pick up on free agency. You know what? Let's go position by position. Quarterback wise, trash. Halfback, we already got one. Excuse me. We could do Gus Edwards as well. Even though I may go with Elijah Mitchell, we can do Gus Edwards as well. Fullback, we're gonna do Kahir, just in case we can't get our hands on Patrick Ricard. Wide receiver, we're gonna do Laviscus Chenault Jr. What's your motivation and tags? We can trade him away for trade bait. Pick him up. Tight ends. Gerald Everett is typically always good at tight end. He doesn't really run. Gerald Everett actually used to be better, in my opinion, than what he is now. Irv Smith Jr. Got to bust a move at tight end. Left tackle. We're good there. Left guard. Isaiah. Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good. Center. Nick Gates. Definitely want him behind Cam Jurgens. Saves me from having to trade for a center. Connor McGarwin. Connor is very good as well. We're going to go ahead and pick him up. And then we're going to do for right guard. Right tackle. Tequila. Welcome to 51 Dynasty community. Welcome to one of the best online communities available today where you are appreciated. Thank you for your support and welcome into the group. I hope you enjoy the stream. Willie J, thank you for the likes and thank you for the likes. Let's see here. And like I said, this is not a full Rampy. Welcome to 51 Dynasties community. Welcome to one of the best online communities available today where you are also appreciated. Thank you for your support and welcome into the group. I hope you enjoy the stream. Just to let everyone know, this is just a quick setup of the roster, and then I'm going to give my I'm really just going to sign some free agents, and then I'm going to do everything else off camera, so that way I know I can play with it a little bit before I go to sleep type thing, and then I will show it to you tomorrow if I'm done or if I'm not done. I love TJ. Hello, how you doing? How's your day going? Say I know it's already on the Vikings. Let's see here. Nicholas Monroe. Nicholas is actually really good. He's a top 25 middle linebacker. I'm going to go ahead and sign him as well to help the defense. Will side linebacker, I think we got some of the best. So there's Roquan. Roquan actually was pretty good too. His play recognition just needs to be worked on. Zone coverage isn't that good. The play recognition going to take a while. The roster is going to be revealed tomorrow. This is just me just starting it up so far, picking out a couple of picking out a couple of free agents just to see who's out there in this new roster, and then I'm gonna give my opinion on that whole AJ Brown thing, and I'm gonna look to hang it up. So I'm only gonna be live. It's been 27 minutes. So I'm only gonna be live like another 5 or 10 minutes, and then I will be live tomorrow. Stonehouse.
This is the Abilities tab. Here you can see.
Okay. So, all right. So we got the free agents. Those are the people I normally sign out of free agency, so we can get on tape. I'm not gonna do any trades because it's been 27 minutes. So I'm using my last 3 minutes wisely, and then I'm gonna take this to a kind of like a hangout late night thing myself. Here's the thing about it. I was born and bred in the city of Philadelphia. Um, Born as a Philadelphia Eagles fan. But I chose to like them. It wasn't something that was kind of like forced on me or anything like that. Um, Handed down to me by mothers, fathers, uncles, cousins, things like that. If I could sum this up without making it into one of those things where you just you kind of like just stagger on for hour after hour after hour. Um, Let me say this: AJ Brown is a great wide receiver. He has talent, he has ability, and he to me is a muscle you up wide receiver where a lot of wide receivers work off of speed. But on the other hand of that, AJ Brown did become a distraction. And he became a distraction in the sense of basically when you look back at some of the things he did, as wild as this may sound, he was TO 2.0. And not a lot of people realize that the reason why T.O. was, sent away from the Eagles was because he was doing stuff off the field that wasn't criminal, but it was a distraction. And when you're in a roster room with somebody and you're on the same team, the last thing you want to do is begin to ask questions about the same guy over and over and over and over again. But why are you getting asked those questions? Because he's arguing with the coach. He's reading books on the sideline instead of the playbook. He's going on Patriot podcasts talking about how much he loves the team and he grew up watching them and stuff like that. So I kind of feel like he forced his own way out of town in that situation. Um, at the same time, do I wish any sort of ill will towards him or his family or anything like that? No, I don't. I wish him all the best. But I do think that one thing I did want to address that I did see online was people going, the Eagles thought they were getting a first round 2027 pick. Let me explain something to you. It doesn't matter whether it was 5 years from now, it's still a first round pick. Okay. When we traded for AJ Brown, we traded for AJ Brown for a first, I believe, and a third. Okay. Today we got back a first and a fifth. So that means that this year the Philadelphia Eagles have one first round pick, and then in 2028 we have two. Now, at some point, hypothetically, not saying we would do this, but at some point they said that excuse me, Max Crosby was going to be traded for a Max Crosby was going to be traded for two first round picks. Now, could Howie take one first round pick from, or let's say two first round picks from, the pick they got from the Patriots and their pick, and call up the Raiders by Max Crosby? Who knows? You know, could they call up, say, somebody about a free safety or the next Lane Johnson? Hell, could they package both of those picks together and go get Joe Alt? We're doing that now, David. Um, the thing of it is, how I look at it is myself personally. The man ran himself out of town. You know, I think that there was a lot of like, I want to be here, and I don't want to go anywhere. But then, you're hearing legendary players like he wanted to leave. Imagine if I could give you an example. Let me see. Okay, you know how JSN is the new favorite wide receiver of the Seahawks, right? Can you imagine what the fan base would feel if Jackson Smith and Jobu JSN popped up on Fred Warner's podcast talking about how much he loved the 49ers and how much he grew up watching them and all that. You know what I mean? What do you think? Everybody on the Eagles grew up watching Eagles? No, everybody is different. But at the same time, they know how to keep it in check. You know, you've never seen Devontae Smith go to the sideline and read a book. You know, you've never seen Saquon Barkley go back and forth in public. I'm not saying he's never done it, but in public, back and forth with the coach. So, in my opinion, when you look at all the things he did, I think it became a distraction. I also believe that AJ Brown would not have signed any contract that was offered to him 3 years from now because he basically wanted to go to the Patriots. As far as this whole Jalen Waddle got this and we didn't get this or whatever, I don't think Howie cares about that. I think Howie looks at it like a lot of offers we were getting, especially on that 49ers game. You see what I'm saying? It's like, imagine if, um, hypothetically, if it's something different when you do a podcast like with Micah Parsons' podcast, right? He talks to everybody. So if you go on Micah Parsons' podcast and talk about something, that's acceptable because he talks to everybody, right? But to actually sit down with Julian Edelman and talk about how, you know, well, I grew up Patriots fan and they're like, oh, you coming to the Patriots and you don't shut it down and stuff like that. I think that he became a distraction. I think that when I think of what the offense is going to look like, with having Jordan Mailata coming back, Cam Jurgens coming back, Landon Dickerson coming back, um, Landon Dickerson about, coming back, Lane Johnson, Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goddard, Makai Lemon, Devontae Smith, Hollywood Brown, and Wicks. Not really too worried about what he's going to do. I feel like myself that there's no harsh feelings towards him. Like I don't feel like I hate you or something like that. I just look at it like before we won a ring, you were very hungry. Kind of how Jason Kelsey said, "Hungry dogs run faster." But somewhere along the line, you stopped being hungry. You know, you started to not want to be a tag team with Devontae. You wanted your own thing, and I do think that to be honest, the Patriots are gonna get doubled on. You know, basically, you're gonna have coaches say, "Okay, double down on AJ, make somebody else beat us." Like think about it like this: when Jalen Hurts, you know how quarterbacks will say hike, and they walk up to the huddle and stuff. When Jalen Hurts walks up to the huddle and calls hike, he can go to the right to Devontae Smith. He can go to the left to Makai Lemon. He could go to the tight end Dallas Goddard. He could go to Hollywood Marquise Brown, who we all know is fast, right? Or he could just turn around and hand the ball to Saquon Barkley. So if this was the type of situation where, say, we didn't have a Devontae Smith, um, I don't really have myself personally. I don't really have a problem with the whole tush push thing. I brotherly shove, tush push, whatever you want to call it. I don't have a problem with it. I think that if it's not unstoppable, it's been stopped before. So I mean, and other teams do it as well. If you don't believe me, go back and look at the Bills games. The Bills were doing it. I know for a fact Josh Allen was doing it. I don't know about everybody else, but I know Josh Allen was doing it. Um, at the same time, like I was saying, because I'm about to get up out of here and I'll see you guys tomorrow because it's late at night over here in the West. Um, it was a good trade. I'm glad. I'm gonna tell you right now, if if the Philadelphia Eagles would have traded AJ Brown for a second or a third or something like that, yeah, I would have been upset. I would have felt like, hey, we gave these guys a first for this guy, and basically, you're getting a second in return. A first round pick for a player that wouldn't have signed a contract to re up 3 years from now, and also at the same time wouldn't have um, not only not signed his contract, but wouldn't have probably stuck around without causing even bigger problems. You know, you gotta understand there's other people's contracts that are coming up that are more important. Jalen Carter, Jordan's already signed. Jalen Carter, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Jordan Mailata, you know, um, Devontae Smith. And this cap room that we have, plus the first round pick, I think puts us in a good light. But like I said, I was only going to be in here about 40 minutes or so. It has been that. I want you guys and gals to have a blessed, safe rest of your night. We will talk more about this tomorrow. And thank you for showing up. Peace.